Williams made it. I turn up the party, yaddy. I turn up the party, yaddy. I turn up the party,
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Women of Wealth show on Intellectual Radio. Of course, we got our crew here today. We got our special guest, Kiva. Kiva all the way in the corner hiding under the table, so you really can't see her real quick. But before we even start our show, I just want to say I had a rough week. When your mama is sick or your parent is sick, we are at that age right now that we're seeing a lot of death at our age. Stuff that we didn't see growing up when our mothers was in our 50s and 60s. But right now, I just want to thank God. My mother's at the hospital and she's feeling better.
Amen.
So right now, thank you, Jesus. And let's go ahead and get this started. Right now, over here on this side, I got T. T, introduce yourself.
Hey, everyone. You know who it is. T. Heidi's Fly Trees. Get at me. DM me. Facebook me. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up, family? It's me, Dion, checking in with y'all. Welcome to the show. Thank y'all for coming in and tuning in. And glad to be here, y'all. Glad to be here.
Yes.
Okay, who we got on that corner sitting there holding her phone like she about to make a call on us?
Thank you for having me once again as a guest. I'm Azuela, but I go by Azul, and I appreciate you allowing me to come and bless you all studio once again. Thank you kindly.
Okay, can we hold these cups up and get this cocktails and conversation started? All right, let's get it going.
Let's get it.
All right, Earl, hold your drink up. Y'all already know my engineer ready right there to talk crazy. All right, let's get this started. 708-223-8953. The conversation is, should a teacher be allowed to hit a student? So this time, normally I start with T. I'm going to start with Earl because Earl seemed to always talk the most mess. Earl, you know to turn your mic on. We do this every Friday. The question is, should a teacher be allowed to hit a student?
Definitely not, but they should be allowed to defend themselves.
Okay, well, you just said that was an oxymoron, wasn't it?
You gotta be able to defend yourself.
Well, you know, here's the thing. Pardon me for interjecting already, but I think a teacher should be allowed to put their hands on students because the biggest thing that's missing in today's classroom as well as society is there's no discipline. There's a serious lack of discipline going on. And I'm not saying just go up and grab a kid out of nowhere or nothing like that. But kids still really do feel like it's okay for them to act a fool and act out and disrupt the class and all of that stuff. So with that being the case, yeah, you know what? Let me come on in this bathroom because I know that's what happened to us when I was in school. You know what I'm saying? My teacher, Miss Mamie Bailey, God rest her soul.
With a name like Mamie, you already know she'll put her hands
Mamie
on
Bailey,
her.
man, had a yardstick, and she had a name for the yardstick. Bernard Bulldogs, if y'all listening, please call in and back me up on this. She had a yardstick and she had a name for it. Whenever anybody got out of line, it was you, her, and that bathroom, whether it was the boys' bathroom or the girls' bathroom. It was up to y'all. And when you came out, your attitude was most definitely adjusted.
So, yeah, times were different then. I went to a school where they had a room. It was called the whooping machine. So I wanted no parts of that.
Right.
That was grammar school, though.
Right.
In high school, it was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little different. And so I'm a little on the fence because I had a teacher that said some inappropriate things. And, yeah, the classroom went up. It went up. He was racist. So it depends. For me, it depends on the situation. If you defending yourself, if you got an irate student and he or she is attacking you, yeah, absolutely defend yourself. But if you're one of those teachers that, sit down and want to check a kid and not do it in a good way, then you better keep your hands to yourself.
Absolutely. Like I said, I think it's there's certain situations where, you can definitely you don't have to put your hands on kids. But like, again, you want to act a fool and you want to do all this and you feel like, my mama said this or my daddy this, that. Okay, well, I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. That's just me. And I have a friend, my best friend, who was a teacher up until the beginning of the middle of last year. And not to say that he put his hands on kids because he didn't. But the one thing I always knew going in his classroom was there was a whole lot of respect in there because he had no problem snatching you up by your collar. And he tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell them both. You know what I'm saying? Bring anybody you want to this class because the one thing you're not going to do is disrupt my class. And these kids knew that in his class.
And I'm quite sure them parents knew that too, because he already said it. Like,
absolutely.
and like my kids had a teacher. She called me. She said, "Miss Willis, your son is misbehaving." She's like, "And I'm gonna get him." I say, "Okay."
Man.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Because she called me. Okay. Because she was an old school teacher. She wasn't one of these teachers that they got a chip on themselves.
I don't know. Jennifer, you may need to call because I just talked to one of my friends. Jennifer, you may need to call because it may depend on race. It may actually depend on culture. It may depend on background. So there we go. Hold on. I handle this one, Earl.
We got a call.
We got one. Thank you for calling Women of Wealth Show on Intellectual Radio. Who am I speaking with? Hello.
Don't be shy.
Okay. I don't know. Your phone haven't connected.
Well,
don't be scared either.
I'll share with y'all. I went to CBS High School. Michelangelo Taylor was the director of bands, and he sent home letters back in the 90s to your parents saying that I have a right to put my foot in your child's behind if they get out of order. And my mom signed it and said, sure, because I can't be everywhere and I can't see, when she's not around.
So you was in high school when this happened?
I got beat with, yes, I said beat, drumsticks, paddles, whatever, even his fist. But everyone that he put his hands on has graduated from high school, has their own businesses, are very successful, intelligent, smart, and are bringing their children up. I'm just going to keep it real, the same way. And nothing's wrong with us. I know I'm successful. I know my friends are successful and very accomplished, but it's a different time, I believe. You know what I'm saying? My band director, you know what I'm saying, he was brought up back in the day from the South. He was from Kentucky and he went to Tennessee State. You know what I'm saying? And he a Kappa. So all of those things play a factor in his disciplinary, especially with a South Side school coming from Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't know anything other than to put his hand on the students. But honest to God, with the exception of the ones, may they rest in peace, and the ones that maybe one or two of them that went to jail, honest to God, everyone else is doing spectacular. Like,
yeah, but he hit you with a drumstick?
Yeah, I got hit with a drumstick.
I
got hit with a mallet.
You heard her
I just like to be sure.
I got hit with a paddle.
You heard her say she was beat.
I was beat.
Well, you know what?
But her mother said it was
My mom
okay.
said it was great.
I cannot remember his name right now, but he live on 89th Street right now. He taught automotive at Morgan Park High School, and he had a paddle. Come in late, you want to act a fool. It was you, him, and that paddle, and he had the paddle with the holes in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
what does it mean? What does that do?
It's
a suction.
Exactly. So man, he was Mr. Ray. Herb Ray, Mr. Ray. He was a basketball coach, and Mr. Ray didn't play either. You know what I'm saying? And again, all of us knew better. I never took automotive class because of that. I'm gonna just let you know that now because
you're soft. Look at just soft.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you can say all of that if you want to. Yeah, all that. Yep. But see again. My girl Chris said discipline starts at home now.
Tell Chris to call that number 708-223-8953.
She know the number.
Okay, so Chris, call.
You shouldn't come in acting a fool. You shouldn't come to school acting a fool and knock all out your body like these kids have been known to do. I have a friend right now. I was just talking to her earlier. She has a kid in her school. And again, these kids have issues. They have learning disabilities as well as mental disabilities and things like that. And I understand that. But this kid, from his first day, he knew mental disability or not, he knew it was okay to come in and act a fool because wherever he was at school before, the parents did nothing, the teachers did nothing. They just let him act out. And his first day there, he tried to kick her. And I'm going to tell you what else he did. Came out the bathroom one time, and again, I get some of these kids have issues. They don't know how to zip their pants up or button their pants up or this, that, and the third. We get that. Mm-hmm. This kid came out full-blown naked. Pants and drawers down around his ankles. Down around his ankles. Now, this is a story she told me. His first day.
Mm-hmm. But he got a mental disability, though.
Yeah. And check this out.
He didn't come to school like that.
He did, right.
But he got a mental disability.
He knew better. Oh, that was Mama J that tried to call.
Tell her to come on, call again.
Call back,
call
Mama J.
708.
This is what happened.
8953.
He walked out of the bathroom with his pants and his drawers down around his ankles. Walked up to another kid who was laying with his head on his desk and rubbed his little thing up against this kid's face. I said, See, and I told her, I said, you would be mad at me for what I did, but I would have dragged Shorty clean into the bathroom, and I promise you, you wouldn't have had another problem out of him for the rest of the year. Not just that day, for the rest of the year.
Oh, look at his fan. He got his dad fan. He got his dad finger out.
His parents, no, this Shorty sleeps in a $3,000 bed, not because for comfort or because he earned it, but because they are so afraid of him that this bed locks him in at night. That's what this bed does. And again, I get it. You got all the mental disabilities in the world. I understand that. And I'm not trying to downplay that in any shape, form, or fashion. But what I am going to say is even his parents are punks because they allow him to do that. And that's why they're afraid of him.
Wait. So just because his parents don't hit him, don't make him no punk. Everybody don't believe in corporal punishment.
That's true.
My principal, his paddle was called Frenchie, and we had to roll dice. I got hit till I was 19 years old. That's a bit much.
Yeah, I get it.
Right now, all that corporal punishment don't help everybody.
I'm not saying strap him up and beat him to within an inch of his life. I'm not saying it at all. But at what point? This is the question I have. At what point do you say, okay, hey, look, enough is enough? And I get it, you got issues, but we're not going to do. We're not going to cross this line or this line.
Don't hit the table. You're messing up our speakers.
When do we do that? When do we get to the point where we say, okay, hey, look, you done went too far now, Joey. You done went too far now, Lisa, or whatever your name may be.
But are you gonna go too far? Because right now, just how you saying it, will you be able to calm yourself down?
Absolutely. Because again, the thing is this. All discipline should be done out of love. It should come from a place of love, especially when you're the parent. Especially when you're the parent.
I mean, that's a parent, but we're talking about a teacher here.
We're talking about a teacher. That's not my mother.
So look, I was doing some research in Indiana, this teacher, so this kid was verbally disrespectful to the teacher.
Yeah.
The kid walks out the room. The teacher runs behind him and shove his head into the locker.
Now, see, that's going too far.
See?
Now, that's too far.
But he said, in his defense, he said, well, he was being disrespectful.
No.
Okay, well, hold on a second. Earl, talk your mic up and speak up. What do you think about that teacher?
Should be fired.
He definitely was fired.
Now,
too far.
Now, does everybody agree right here at this panel that teacher should be fired?
Went too far. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And charged.
Yeah.
And charged.
And
absolutely.
And everything
charged.
revoked. Everything. You'll never be able to.
But and that's the thing. It's like we need a balance. It's like when, like you said, when is enough enough?
That's the thing.
What
where is the
happened
dry
to that
line?
teacher to make them snap to actually do something like that?
Well, you know,
Exactly. So
The patience.
we don't know. We don't know
The
what
patience.
happened.
obviously, there was something else
The
going on, and that's a
It's the
big part of
patience.
it. You know, again, we live in an era where there is not a lot of patience. There are a lot of people that know how and when to go as far as they should go, and they go overboard, and that's a problem as well. You know what I'm saying? And just like teacher said, there definitely needs to be a balance. And my thing is, again, hey, look, you could be as patient as Job. You could do everything in the world to say, hey, look, okay, I understand that you have this, that, and the third going on, and we're going to work with you. But again, at some point, you have to say, all right, now you're going too far. You've gone too far. And again, whether it's the yardstick like Miss Bailey, whether it's the pedal like Mr. Ray, or whether it's a mallet like Mr. Taylor, you have to say, okay, hey, look, we ain't go. And Mr. Taylor, look, everybody in the city know CVS always had 8,000 freshmen. They had 8,000 freshmen, so they had about 40,000 students. In that band, that was one of the best bands, if not the best band in the city. He dealt with about 300-400 of y'all at a time. So again, I can't simply say, okay, hey, Joey, go sit in the corner.
So that means you should take some
He didn't have
some drumsticks and beat me because I'm playing.
I'm not saying that either, but what I am going to say is, again, if you get me to that point, it's 300 of y'all in this room.
Put me out.
And look, if you want to be a part of this band, these are the rules. If you disobey these rules, here are the consequences.
He put the
period, point blank.
He put the fear of God in us because he knew that he couldn't control. He didn't have a teacher aide or assistant or professor, nobody else to help out. So it was just him. So what he would do was make an example, and not just for my class. I came in '89. I'm talking about classes from all the way back to '80 were still in fear of this man. And it wasn't a fear like, oh God, I'm going to die. I'm not going to make it. It was a healthy, respectful, this is my teacher. What he says goes. He's responsible for every student in this band. So he had to
So
do
yeah,
it.
that was back in the 90s and the 80s and 90s.
So
I mean, I think that was acceptable.
Back then.
Now it's not acceptable.
Okay, so do you believe that right now we should still have teachers like that?
I believe
because Dion is ready. So hurry up,
look, the Miss Green, that was my son's teacher. Miss Green, she was down to earth, and she called me Miss Willis. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Because I feel like it takes a village.
It does.
And right now we don't have villages anymore.
We don't.
And so that's why we so uptight. Like, that teacher said something inappropriate. No, that teacher probably said, Joey, sit down. And she might have said it a little too loud for Joey. What's wrong with that? Sit down, Joey. You're doing something you ain't got no business doing.
Okay, well, I'm going to take it a step further then. And then we can go back. Right now, they said the teachers should be armed. Do you believe that?
Nah, that's a little too far. That's a tad bit too extreme, man, to be honest.
I
That's
mean, listen, what neighborhood we talking about?
It doesn't matter. It actually don't even matter. Matter of fact, we're going to start with Earl and work our way down. Earl, should teachers even be allowed to then conceal and carry in the classroom?
I don't think that anyone should be concealed and carry in the school. You might as well be in prison. I don't think cops should be concealed and carry. I really don't.
What? Wait,
like
hold on a second. Give them.
I just don't like that. I don't like cops in prison that have guns. I mean,
well, in prison, in prison you cannot carry your gun. Every gun is locked up in prison.
I don't feel comfortable as a student seeing cops walking around with guns. It just would affect me mentally, emotionally.
Okay, that would traumatize you.
No one should have guns. If you need the police, you call the police.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, in the school premises, I don't think anyone should have guns. Not at all. No.
Okay.
I'm gonna agree with Earl because I just feel like I'm a teacher assistant too. So basically, I know the mental instability of a lot of teachers. And it's not just from the students. You got to deal with the upper management, administration, the parents. And a lot of the parents are telling the child, if your teacher say something, you let me know. But see, that's the other topic we might have to get on because the parents are instilling in the children, hey, if that teacher says anything to you, you better let me know because nobody says nothing to my son.
I mean, but understand this one. That's their parenting skill. We can't take that away. Yeah. I don't want anybody to say nothing to my kid in a disciplinary manner but me. Is that parent wrong for that?
Yes, they are.
If they want a gun, yeah.
I mean, they're not wrong. That's your choice. However, you better keep Joy at home.
Yeah.
If that's exactly what I mean. If you want your child to be in my classroom, and I see my man Drew is checking in. Drew's a teacher, and that's who I was talking about.
So tell Drew to call.
Drew, call in, bro. 708-223-8953. 708. Hollywood is a teacher. Hollywood, it was a teacher at Nancy B. Jefferson before me, and you got there. He left just as you and I were getting there. This is my man from high school. Hollywood, call in, man. 708-223-8953. What I will say, and this is just my opinion, 8 billion people on this planet, and I know there are 8 billion different opinions. As a teacher, what I'm going to agree with Earl and Kiva, no, teachers shouldn't have guns in classrooms. But just we're going to go a step further. We're not talking about little Jimmy and Lisa and Joy in our classroom, but look what happened down in Uvalde. Look at what happened at all these other schools where these people walked in with guns and stuff like that. In that case, I think
because down south is so lenient with guns.
Well, Texas is, but I mean, and this happened in Texas. We talked about, but look what happened in Florida. Look what happened.
The problem is security. That's a security issue.
It's a security issue, but
I said doors weren't locked, and he just walked in.
Just walk right in. That's a security issue.
That is a security issue, and again,
it's a security breach.
Even
definitely,
the kids down in Texas. They said that was the back doors open. That's how this kid got in Uvalde, Texas, because the back door was open. There was a door that was, you know what I'm saying, breached, and that's how he walked in. The problem is they called 911 immediately, and those officers down there had their thumbs stuck square up there, you know what, and those dudes walked in and were in there with this shooter. And they still didn't do anything. We can't find him. We don't know where he is. Now they Keystone cops. Y'all go out, walk down one hallway. He walk out the other hallway, and all of that stuff. And it's sad. So I think maybe they should have armed guards at schools. You know what I'm saying? At least perusing the parameters of the school just for that.
Well, how about outside?
I'm gonna say this, in my opinion.
What's up?
Concealed carry, yes, I believe so. Because I'm gonna say on the flip side, this teacher, a student broke her leg. Physically fighting her, she did not fight back. He broke her leg. So
should his penalty be death?
I mean, it's not that it could have been death, but it's he attacked her.
Nobody can shoot one time. They're gonna shoot him 10 times. You know that.
So if somebody break into your car, if you're a concealed carry, you're not gonna defend yourself. I mean, just because
if somebody break into your car, you don't shoot out the window at them because your life is not in danger.
If you're in your car and they breaking into your car, not if you. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I'm inside the car and someone break into it. And if I'm a teacher, a principal, a lawyer, a judge, anybody, I'm going to defend myself if I'm concealed carry.
Well, we talking about
we're in the school and this kid attacks me. I cannot defend myself.
Not with a gun.
Oh, okay.
But even without a gun, though, the problem is, a lot of administrators and a lot of administration feel like you don't have the right to defend yourself, period.
They don't want you to.
They don't want you to because they don't want the lawsuit.
How they are. And again, look, I wish I had some change. All I got is a $20 bill because I'm about to lose it. But I'm going to say this.
Earl, I don't know if you can curse, but give me the 20. I can give you some singles.
My job, no, because I ain't going to get but about 2 singles back.
Okay. Well,
and I need some gas money.
All right, well, go ahead.
What I will say is this: at my job, and everybody knows where I work at Hollywood. You was there, Drew. You know where it is. T, you there. Everybody here.
So how come Hollywood and Drew can't call to tell us?
Well, they can call. They can call in. Here's the thing. This is my saying, and again, one of 8 billion people on this planet.
He give 100 disclaimers.
You have the right. You have the right to do whatever you're gonna do. I don't talk about your bad behavior. I'm not even going to say you don't have the right to do what you do. But me personally, I have the right to do what I'm going to do too. And I'm going to do that. And as Ice Cube once said, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. And so that's my disclaimer. That's my disclaimer. And I'm gonna bear my arm. I'm gonna roll my sleeves up. That's as far as I'm gonna bear my arms in my job. I'm gonna bear my arms. You know what I'm saying? So with that being the case, man, look, every time you look up somebody defending something.
Thank you for calling the Women of Wealth show on Intellectual Radio.
And that's
who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Candela Light.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
Can you tell me what you think?
Well, I don't know which one I want to address first. Disciplining your kids.
Let's start. We're gonna start from the beginning. Discipline. What do you think about a teacher putting his hands on a student?
That should be a parent's decision.
Okay, so just like how T said, I call you at home and I say, you know something, your kid acting up. I'm finna put hands on them. Is that okay if I do that?
No, you can't call me and tell me that. So it's by parent. So that means that the parent is going to have to be proactive in getting to know the teacher.
Oh, absolutely.
So if the parent knows the teacher, then the parent will know if the teacher is going to do the discipline the right way.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's right.
Because I knew Miss Green. She called. We had conversations.
708-223-8953.
She felt comfortable with calling me and say, hey, kid is getting out of line. I'm finna take him in the bathroom. Hey, do what you gotta do.
But why didn't she just call you and say, hey, come get your kid?
Because she was a parent before.
Your problem from what time you're getting paid for. So he's your problem. Learn how to deal with them. This is what I say you can do and what you cannot do. So it's up to the parent.
It wasn't the fact that she
somebody's child. So it's the same thing like with the gun. So you don't want the teacher to carry a gun, but it's okay for them to discipline your child? No, neither one.
So somebody don't want anyone
discipline your child in ways that you don't do it.
Okay. So right now, your answer is no. Nobody could discipline your child but you.
Unless I give you permission.
Unless permission is established. However, there are laws in place in the school administration. They give you ways to lower the situation when it comes to disciplining the child. Okay, first start with step 1. Diffuse this, lower your voice. Do it. So if you don't follow those steps, then the teacher's in trouble.
Okay,
Yeah.
so right now, if your kid was clowning and being disrespectful, cursing the teacher out, and your child put his hand in the teacher's face, do that teacher has the right to knock your child to the floor to defend their self?
To defend themselves, yeah, I think so.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me
I'm
get my
sorry.
caller.
Yeah, the
Hold on, let me
caller.
get my
The
caller,
caller.
I'm
y'all.
sorry.
Yes, go ahead. I'm
You
sorry.
should be able to defend yourself. That should be, yeah, definitely. You should be able to defend yourself. But there are certain things that you should not be allowed to do still the same. Unless it's some big kids. I don't know. Some of these kids are big as adults. So
it could be a small kid whipping on that tail. So
a small kid?
yeah, it could be
You
a
should
small.
be able to restrain a small kid.
Oh well, all of them you can't restrain. We could tell you that personally.
Yeah.
Some of them a
Yeah.
little spry.
Yeah.
You can't.
So everybody on the panel are teachers?
708.
No, we're
Wood.
not. We work in juvenile
708-223-8953.
detention center.
Oh, juvenile
708.
detention centers. Okay.
Yes. So right now,
so those kids that get to the juvenile detention centers, their parents just said forget about it.
no, they didn't. Not all the parents.
Necessary, sure.
Not all the parents.
Not
Some
all.
of them they just couldn't control. You have some loving parents. But thank you, caller. Call back if you need to. Okay.
All righty, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for calling the Women of Wealth Show on Intellectual Radio. How can I help you?
Hi. Thank you for calling the Women of Wealth Show Intellectual Radio. How can I help you? Hi, this is Sonia from.
You gotta turn your radio down.
Oh,
Turn your radio
Hey,
down.
can you turn your
Sonia.
radio down?
that was the next call.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, it is. Go ahead. What do you think?
I am pro-discipline.
Why is that?
I'm 100% pro-discipline because the way the world is today, it is
It's a lack of it.
totally
Yeah.
out of control.
Yeah, it's a lack of discipline.
And I believe part of the reason it's out of control is lack of discipline.
Yep.
Lack of discipline in the home, lack of discipline, lack of people giving consent to discipline. And that's why we're where we at today.
Yep. I agree.
Absolutely.
All right.
100%.
I
So
agree.
it's okay if the teacher hit your
It's
child back.
okay. I'm pro-discipline.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye. Now, right now, so far, we have 1-1. We have one was like, I'm going. Let's see. Let's keep going. Thank you for calling Women of Wealth Show Intellectual Radio. Who am I speaking with?
Mama J said she tried to call again. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, tell her to call right now. I'm waiting for her.
Mama J, we waiting on you. 708-223-8953. Mama J, we waiting on you.
Okay, so right now we have it even. Thank you for calling the Women of Wealth Show on Intellectual Radio. Go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening. Who is this? Oh my goodness, this ain't Ron, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness, Ron.
Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Yes, it is.
Ron, if Mama J call, I may have to hang up on you like I do every Friday. What you got to say, Ron? Make it fast. Make it quick, Ron.
Not long with it today.
Uh-oh, Ron stretching. What you got to say, Ron?
Who is Ron, first of all?
Okay, who am I speaking with?
This is Andrew.
Oh, Black. My man. What's up, my man?
I'm sorry. I
Yes, sir.
only do Ron like that. I'm sorry, Andrew. How
What's
can
up,
I help
man?
you?
Ron must be a hell of a dude. Then.
Must
Yeah.
be. Okay, what do you think?
Okay, what's the question ahead? Y'all know I had to wake up to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
The question was, do you think it's okay for a teacher to hit a student,
Never.
no matter what the circumstances?
Nah.
Okay, you
First of all,
Go ahead.
You hired for one as an adult. Secondly, you're supposed to maintain your professionalism throughout any kind of encounter.
what you do for a living, Andrew?
Oh, what do I do for a living?
Yeah,
now?
yeah, because
I was a teacher for 14 years.
he was a who?
Teacher.
Okay,
Teacher for 14 years. I am an adult probation officer now.
okay,
I work with even bigger kids.
okay. All right, and you never once got out your body or never once lost your professionalism?
Let me say this. I never had to.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because they had that respect.
That came to my class. You get what's called a grace period. Your first 2 weeks sets the tone for your whole year.
Yeah, that's true.
Your
That's
first 2 weeks sets the tone for your whole year.
Mm-hmm.
I can smile and laugh at my door while these kids come in, and guess what? They already know I mean business.
Okay.
So your presence instilled fear in them. Respect.
Here's what I'm gonna say about my presence. My presence as a black man, because a lot of kids don't even get the experience of having a black male teacher. Less than 2% in the United States. You saying less than 2% throughout the whole United States are black male teachers.
That's a staggering number.
It's more than a staggering number, but you know what? Those of us, and I'm pretty sure when Mr. Hollywood calls in, he'll affirm it. Believe me, a lot of us, they respect. Because I kept mine on edge. Mine never knew what I would do. But then, one thing I used to do, I was a teacher that would come ring your bell or knock on your door to speak to your parents.
Okay.
And I would tell them. So when word got back to the school that he would come to your house, guess what?
They knew to straighten up. Yeah, they knew to straighten up. Yep. Yep.
In 14 years, I never really had to really go off on a student. But what people got to understand is we're talking about different generations of kids.
Yes. Because I was just about to ask you, what era was that?
I just stopped working. Stopped working, and I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not bragging, I'm not being modest, and I'm not boasting. When I left my 7th and 8th grade, I had girls in there crying when they found out that I was finna leave. I had boys in there like, "No, Mr. Money, come on, please." So I know the kind of effect that I had on them. Most of the time, when you're in the classroom, you got more kids in there that want to learn that don't want to learn.
That's true.
Oh, absolutely.
You have more in there, but you always gonna have those few who have that attitude of I don't want to learn it, and I know why they don't want to learn it. We got so many kids. If you were ever in a school and year after year you hear the same thing about. Here's a famous saying. If you think I'm not ask any teacher, you always hear the phrase "bridging the gap." You'll always hear "bridging the gap," and you start to ask yourself, "What the hell do that mean?" Because I hear this every year. Bridging the, and they say that because a lot of our students are always behind.
Way behind.
8th graders that read on the third grade level.
Yep.
But you gotta understand something. I was listening to you guys, and a lot of this stuff goes back to parenting. If you can reach back and look at when you were going to school and how your parents were with you. Before we ate dinner, my mom was at the table like, break that homework out.
Yep.
Let me see what y'all been doing. And I'm gonna say something else that you guys were talking about. You guys were talking about a village. There is no more village.
Nope.
The village is gone. They dispersed. Where you had the extended family where grandma was, if your mom was at work and grandma was watching, grandma was still adept at helping you do whatever you needed to do. But a grandmama now want to hit the club on Thursday night.
True that.
When you talk about this generation of kids, you got to understand you can't expect them to know none of thing and talk nothing.
This is true.
That's true.
This is true.
That's fact.
You gotta also have parents who want better for their kids, and I'm not saying a lot of them don't. I think all of them want better for their kids. It's just that they don't know how to go about, helping their kids get to that point. because they weren't educationally oriented when they were in school. So if they weren't, how can you send a kid home with some algebra and they come back and you say, where your homework? Well, I didn't do it. I know how to do it. So now your line of thinking is, don't you live with your parents? But as a teacher, you would know that, and you start to have to think like, okay, well, and do it, then that probably means that their parents can't do it either. So you have to do what's called differentiated instruction with these particular kids and set out a part of your day to say, well, hey, everybody who didn't, finish their homework, y'all come over here. We're going to get in this group and we're going to do it together.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, guess what you're going to have?
What you going to have, Andrew?
Huh?
I said, what you going to have?
You're going to have a bunch of kids in there acting a fool because they don't know what they're doing.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why kids act up in class. Kids act up in class because guess what? I'm going to sit here for 60 minutes not knowing what the hell to do.
To cover up the fact that they don't know what they're doing. Yep. That's what they're doing.
Exactly
Yeah, we see that every day.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew.
Drew.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
you laid it down. All right. You have a good one.
I'll let you later, Black.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, right now, do y'all agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
that's it.
absolutely. On a lot of levels, you know what I'm saying. I again, that's my best friend in the whole world, but
Oh, your friend's long-winded.
I got lost in translation.
Well, the thing is, the one thing that I differ from him is, again, yeah, you do set the tone. You know what I'm saying? And, we try to do that at work as well. You set the tone so you don't have to get up and act a fool and all this stuff. But you do have a certain group of kids that are going to push and push and push beyond that. You know what I'm saying? And again, just like we talked about at the beginning, at some point you have to say, okay, look, we played this game. We're not going to do this anymore. And so when that kid tries to buck and tries to go beyond that point,
so
what you gonna do?
So it's coming, right? So before you get to that level, can you just get that parent a call and say, or tell that teacher, hey, go to the office because you got to go home.
Yeah.
Before you get to
but
that point.
teaching is so political. You hear a lot of teachers be like, our hands are tied. We really
definitely
can't. But one thing about Andrew that you heard, he cared.
Yeah.
At the fact that you're willing to go in somebody's neighborhood and knock on their door means you care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of teachers out here care. I know some teachers, they care, but they can't do. They just the hands are tied.
Yeah.
Thank you
And
for calling the Women of Wealth
And
show on
principals.
Intellectual Radio. Who am I speaking with?
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yes.
can.
This is Keisha. I don't want to comment per se, but I wanted to say you guys are doing a great job. I enjoy watching this. I like to cast you on my big screen, so I speak that into y'all future. You're going to be on the big screen soon enough.
Thanks, sis.
Thank you so much.
So
We
much,
appreciate
Keisha.
that.
Keep
Hey.
up the good work, y'all.
Thank you.
All
I
right,
appreciate
sis.
it.
All right, peace. No comment on this.
Okay.
You know what else, sis? A lot of the parents, when teachers call home and they they tell the parent how the behavior is for the day, the parent will say, well, he do the same thing here. I can't do nothing with him either.
They want to be their kids' friends. They ain't trying to be parents. And that's what Hollywood just said. Parents are today afraid
Tell
to whip
Hollywood.
that child. He said he tried to call. He's tried to call several
Tell
times.
Dion
so-
right now it's open.
Wood, call us right now.
Wood.
708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. Call right now, bro.
Come on, bro. I'm
Yeah,
waiting
I
on you,
know.
Wood.
I know how you feel,
Wood.
man. I know how you feel, man. Because like I said, he was at Nancy B. Jefferson before we got there. He was there for almost 20 years before he moved down to Tennessee.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so he's been doing this for a long time. And, he saw the kids before we knew what we was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know he's one of those cats that are real compassionate, too, about their job. And again, I don't want to go in here and go back and forth with you. So I'm going to stay the course and I'm going to stay focused and I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do as a teacher. Whether you buy into it or not, that's up to you. But this is what's going to happen. We're here to learn math, English, or whatever the case may be, and that's what's going to happen. And so when you see the thing is, a lot of kids need consistency. You know what I'm saying? They know if I can go in and give Miss T off or give Miss Park off her square, then I'm gonna do that. But if they see that consistency, eventually, sometimes it takes a lot longer than you like it to, but eventually they're gonna start to buy into it as well. And
Oh,
that's the
absolutely.
thing. So.
Yeah,
Because I have encountered some of my mom. She was she used to come to the school a lot after I graduated grammar school and high school. So she went back to the grammar school, and the system had changed because all the other teachers had, moved on.
Mm-hmm.
And so she used to bring kids home with her. I said, "Why are you bringing all these kids home?" It was this one particular girl.
Thank you for calling the Women of Wealth Show on Intellectual Radio. Who am I speaking with? Can you hold that real quick, T? Hey.
I figured I'd give this one more try. This Hollywood.
Okay, Hollywood, about time, man. What's up? What you got to say?
Hey, I've been trying to catch y'all. All right, first of all, good evening, good people.
Good
evening, my brother.
Background information, I'm in year 24. Like Deanna said, I taught at Nancy B. Jefferson for 6 years. I teach in alternative school in Memphis as of right now. And I'm a behavior specialist, so all my students are emotionally disturbed. I heard Brother Andrew talk about being a black male teacher and a relationship we build and the respect we gain. That's one of the biggest factors. As long as we show these young brothers and sisters that we are men, first and foremost, of quality and integrity, they respect that. So we don't have to deal with a lot of the BS that a lot of other teachers do. Discipline, everyone should know, it starts at home first. Absolutely. In the school system, we're just supposed to build or reinforce what is taught at home. Unfortunately, this generation don't teach it at home. So then we are put in a situation where we are the teacher, the educator, the brothers, sisters, daddy, support system. As long as you earn respect from these kids and present yourself professionally, you can teach them the world. You can keep their respect.
Yep. I agree.
Absolutely.
I'm certified to restrain students, special needs students. I'm certified to restrain them. And I do have to do it on a regular basis, but because they have IEPs, individual educational plans, that put them in positions for me to do that. But for a general ed student, I'm not certified to restrain them. But as I heard earlier, if it gets put down to it, I will put hands on them to forget that I'm a man, first and foremost.
Okay, so the thing is, hold on, Hollywood, let me get it straight. So if it comes down to it, you will put your hands on a student.
Yes, ma'am. But here's the difference. I'm not going to put my hands to beat them down. I'm not going to put my hands on them to hurt them.
Yes,
but I will put my hands on them to stabilize them from hurting me or anyone else.
Or themselves.
Okay. So you're going to restrain them, absolutely, and sometimes that's what's needed. I'm not saying,
but he's going to be in control.
Yeah. No, he's going to put them.
You have to
restrain them and not. He's not going to attack them.
Okay.
So that's
So
what's
my question
needed.
is, how often does he have to go that route?
He said a lot.
He said often.
I had.
Remember their kids.
Okay.
Remember their kids.
Wood, I had my engineer ask you how many times, let's just say a day or a week, do you have to actually restrain a kid?
Well, within my program,
yes,
I restrained 3 kids last week in my program, but they have IEPs, individual educational plans, that state that if their behavior impairs to harm themselves, others, then I can do that. I'm restraining students, special needs students, within the guidelines that I'm allowed to. I'm not restraining a general ed student, but if I see a general ed student trying to attack another student or a teacher, then I will intervene.
Hands on.
When I intervene, I'm intervening only to stabilize the situation.
Right.
Our school system, we do have armed officers in our building. I'm at alternative school. We do have armed officers in our building, but they are limited to what they can do when it comes to student discipline and violence.
Now, I do have one question. Why are they armed then if they're limited?
You said, why are they armed?
Yes, sir.
That's based on the school's district. I can't tell you that other than they are actual officers. in the building. This is Memphis. So just like Chicago, I'm sure Chicago has police officers in the building. If not, they need them.
They definitely do. They got
You
some
need
in the
them.
building.
Okay. Yeah,
They
I
do.
just asked.
Yeah.
He's down south. Is it
They
a
do.
difference between here and Chicago?
Memphis
So,
is rough.
no.
In
Huh?
the schools, it's
No,
rough
they have-
down there.
Okay.
They have
Say that
officers in the
again?
building.
No, I was just saying you worked here in Chicago at an alternative school, one of the largest in the country, and then you also down there in Tennessee. Is it a difference or it's about the same? Kids are acting this way everywhere?
Kids asking to plum food everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Kids in Chicago are no different than kids in the South.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like I heard somebody say earlier, the parents and grandparents are just as young trying to make it to the clubs. The parents are not old school like our parents that we were raised with. You know, our parents are more involved. We do have some involved parents now, but they're not the same. Like I heard Brother Andrew say that, yeah, he knocked on doors and visited. I remember I'm a proud member of Morgan Park High School and Esmond Elementary School. My teachers knew my mother. They saw her in the building and they saw her at the local store. So if I entered the food, they knew about it before I get home to tell mom about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. That's how it went, man. That's how it went.
Thank you, Hollywood, for calling.
Appreciate you, big dog.
I've been
Thank
trying
you.
for the longest, but I got you guys.
I got you.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate
Yes,
you,
sir.
Wood. Thank you.
so
Thank
much.
you.
All right.
All right,
Hey,
you guys
Wood,
have a good night.
Wood, I
All
had
right,
one
you
more
too, bro.
question. So
Yes, ma'am.
I know you said that right now you cannot restrain the general population of kids, but you can restrain the ones with the plan. Do you think
Yes.
that a teacher in general population should be able to restrain their kids?
No, because that's not in their job description to have to do. So they might restraining the kid takes a certain kind of mentality. To restrain the student and not take it personal, have a student attack you, and you know it's in their educational plan, take a certain mentality. You cannot take it personal.
Yes.
If we allow every generated teacher to restrain every student that snapped off on them, that would not look good in the system because teachers will take it personal.
Okay.
Some students, it's just a certain, like I said, I was training 3 students last week. The very next day when those students returned to school, they wasn't mad. Well, one of them was, but the other 2 were not mad at me.
Mm-hmm.
They understood they had a moment. We dealt with that moment the way we had to, and the next day is a brand new day.
Okay. Thank you, Wood, for calling in.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
I'm tuning back in.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Thank you.
A lot of the students with the IEPs, they have met with the teachers and the parents, and they already discussed the plan to restrain them. So with a general student, you can't really put the restraint on, like you mentioned. So just wanted to put that out there.
So the little girl that my mom brought over, she told me, she's like, you know, she has a condition. That's what she said. So I'm like, okay.
Was your mom a teacher?
No, she wasn't.
So that seemed kind of creepy. Your mom go to school, pick up students, and
No,
bring them home.
it wasn't creepy. She worked into the schools, and this particular little girl, her parents, I don't want to put their business, they wasn't there for her. And so my mama brought her home with her. Like, okay, you can just come home. We're going to eat with us and this and this and that. And so, but I didn't know what she had a condition mean. Her condition was, like he said, I learned later that she had a plan, an IEP. She jumped up and scratched me in my face because she was jealous that I was sitting next to my mom. I was like, whoa. And my reflex grabbed her. I'm like, wait, what's wrong? I said, what's wrong with this little girl? She like, oh, she got a condition. I said, what's her condition? Attacking others?
Right.
She like, no, for real, she got a condition. And so I had to learn, like, understand where she come from. And then I'm just holding her. I'm like, listen, that's not, you're not supposed to do that. I said, because you can cause someone to hurt you.
Yeah.
Did she understand that?
She looking at me. I'm like, just don't do that no more. I'm like, we're gonna be cool, but don't do that no more.
You should have had a conversation before
I
you
mean,
brought
the
that girl
environment.
home. That was not right. Yeah.
But the environment we work in, the average person we run into have diagnoses that haven't even been placed on them yet. We have a lot of kids with parents maybe got high. We have a lot of kids that got high that done messed up they mind. And we have a lot of kids that's so affected by another. I mean, they're so affected by each other that is dangerous. Because right now, right now, I saw a video on World Star Hip Hop. The video on World Star Hip Hop was so traumatic at the fact that you heard them going back and forth saying, I should have got you at the ID home. I should have got you here. When they made this young man take off all his clothes and make him drink urine out of the toilet while they held guns to his head. So when you say that, you got a lot of diagnoses, but understand we still human. So how do we respond in an adult manner, in a professional manner, knowing this person may not care nothing about my life, and probably if we was on the street, they would take my life. So sometimes we got to look at the situation and look at the situations we in. So I know that's good. I will hope I never have to put my hands on somebody else's kid, but guess what? We have had to. But now with my daughter, my youngest being 16, don't do that. Because I feel like her mother and her dad can talk to her. And I told you, you don't go to school to clown. Because if you do, I'm going to clown you. I promise you. I did it for my oldest. I was at the school. They didn't even know how close I was. Then at the time I worked on the ambulance, I went up there in the ambulance and told her, come here. She was playing. And I just got on the loudspeaker. Come here. She acted like she didn't hear me. Turned the sirens on.
You gotta do that.
And she came onto the car. But I don't want a teacher to ever put their hands on my child, period. I think if I can't discipline
those Miss Greens out there, y'all, hey, they call me. They call me. Yeah. But my kids know that you want to act a clown, the clown is coming to the school. Yeah. I'm coming to the school looking like a clown. So you finna be embarrassed. Yeah.
Are you one of the ones that do that?
Oh yeah. See, you know, my oldest, he know. Oh yeah.
And the thing is, if your kids listen to you, then they know, okay, mama or daddy ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? Because our kids, we never had any issues. I got 3 boys and never got called to school one time for not one of them for the way they acted or were acting or anything.
I had girls. I got called for the oldest.
See, you know, I mean, but the thing is, it happened once or twice, and then after that, it was a wrap.
It was a wrap.
You know what I'm saying?
They tried it.
My
children did.
We all push boundaries. We all have pushed limits and, you know, testing limits and stuff like that. Mine happened to me when I was in 4th grade. I promised to God I'd never had another issue after 4th grade again. I promise you I did.
So he got trauma from 4th grade?
From 4th grade, man. From 4th grade.
But is that healthy?
It is
no,
because
wait, hold on a second. I know that it's kicking in on you. Hold on, Dusty.
No. I'm saying you said is that he got trauma because he did something that he shouldn't have done, and then mother came and told him, "Don't do it."
No, but is that trauma now for our kids? Our kids can't handle what we can handle.
It is trauma for them, but because I'm not going to say because parents haven't done a good job exposing them to it or letting them know, but. It's kind of hard to sit up and say, hey, look, if you act a fool, I'm going to come up here and whoop you. You don't just come out of nowhere and say that to nobody. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that to your kids.
Oh, it's a build-up?
But it's not even that. But again, they have to know at the beginning of each school year, hey, look, you first and foremost, you're here to learn. That's again, I don't care if you got 1 friend or no friends or 1,000 friends. You're here to learn. And 2 of my sons being athletes, you're a student athlete. Student comes first because this is what you hear.
They treat but they treat athletes different than they treat a normal student. We know that now. Come on.
Not necessarily because when I was in high school, it was a sense of pride to be able to wear our jerseys on game days and stuff like that.
Different time.
They told Eric, my youngest, all 4 years play, don't wear your jersey nowhere. You can't wear your jersey nowhere but to the game and when you get on the bus. You know what I'm saying? When you get on the bus, you get off the bus, because they didn't want these kids. They know these kids now are different from when dad and mom went to high school, and they know these kids are more apt to act a fool, act out in public, and do something that brings embarrassment not just to your family, not just to yourself, but to your school, to your school. So that was the first thing they said. Every year we went to football meetings for the last 4 years. Do not wear your jersey anywhere on game days or nothing like that. Do not. So, you know what I'm saying? So, but those kids were disciplined enough to know, okay, look, you know what I'm saying? If I act a fool, I ain't gonna be able to play. I might get kicked off the team. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that they should be any different from just regular students, kids just going there to get
But they
their
don't
education.
treat athletes like they treat regular students, Dion. So right now, more than likely, you was an athlete, correct?
Yeah.
I was.
Yes, you was.
Sorta.
He
So
was.
you got
Sorta.
treated differently. And
Look,
So-
look, look. I didn't play athletics for Morgan Park High School. I was a great baseball player, and I played a little football. I didn't play.
Did he say he was a great
athletics for high
baseball player?
school. I was.
Oh my goodness.
But so that doesn't apply to me. I was asked by the baseball coach to come try for the team, but I didn't because I ended up going out of town when the trials were or whatever. So I never played. You know what I'm saying? But again, I knew the guys. Wood is 6'8". He was a center on the basketball team. You know what I'm saying? And I know plenty of other guys that have played baseball, football, basketball, and as well as other sports, ran track and all kinds of stuff. That those guys knew, okay, yeah, I'm a football player. I might be the stud on the team, or I'm the best basketball player. But they knew better than active fool. They knew better than active fool. Now, my guy Kenny was the star of the team. Will tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny was the only one that I knew that didn't come to class.
Y'all got to stop hitting the table, the speakers.
So, that didn't come to class like he was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else, hey, man, look, I got to go to class, man. Look, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got half the country recruiting me for a college scholarship. I'm trying to make it there. So, you know what I'm saying? They did what they had to do. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that they didn't. I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying, all of these guys were absolved from cutting class, whatever. But I was in class with Kenny, especially our senior year. Now, I still got issues with that too, Kenny.
Hey, man, don't do that. Kenny is cool. Kenny, he Kenny, don't worry about it.
Right.
So right now,
it ain't Kenny's fault though. It ain't even Kenny's fault. I'm blaming the teacher.
Long as you know, don't buy Kenny. We sorry. So right now, just kind of recapping, kind of wrapping it up.
Right.
I'm gonna get everybody's opinion. Of course, we're gonna start over there. Earl, turn that mic on, brother. Right now, we kind of recapping it. In your opinion, with everything you've heard tonight, do you think a teacher should hit a student?
No.
Under no circumstances.
Just defend yourself.
If somebody bucked up in your face and told you they're gonna knock them glasses off you right here, what you gonna say?
Call the police.
Seriously.
Call for help.
Okay. All right, we're gonna take it on down. Next.
The buck up can happen within seconds. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm gonna defend myself, and I'll deal with the disciplinary actions later. But I live to see another day. I ain't missing no limbs, no eyes black. I'm gonna defend myself. No child would hit me ever.
Okay. It looked like he woo-san. I don't know if he's praying, whatever he's doing. I'll give him a moment to get it together.
I'm gonna quote the great Malcolm X: by any means necessary. By any means necessary.
So you, like you said, you'd rather be judged by 12 than taken out by 6?
By 6.
By 6.
Okay.
Absolutely. And again, it's not about just putting your hand on a kid just because. It's not about, you know what I'm saying, oh, I had a bad day at home, or, somebody almost cut me off on the way to work. It's not about that. But at what point do you say, okay, enough is enough?
Okay.
For me, it definitely depends on the situation. I'm saying if a child is attacking you, defend yourself. But if you're attacking a kid, you better keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Period.
I feel like right now a child should not. I don't believe I'm gonna ever say this one. I'm agreeing with Earl that no, just don't touch my child. Do not touch my child. I will deal with my child. I am that parent with that village mentality. I will deal with my child. Call me, tell me. I sit in the class. I have sat in the class. I've sat outside the class. The police was waiting on me to clown. I've sat there, both of us looking at each other. So the thing is that I will discipline my own kids. So with that, I just want to say right now, guys, we got a pop-up shop coming at Mandy's Soul Food Restaurant in Bolingbrook. We got a pop-up next
February 11th. Saturday, February 11th. Yep, from 4 to 9.
Okay, we'll see you out there.
Please come out.
All right, guys. That was another show. We done got through it. All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.
We out.
G.L. Williams made it. Yeah. I turn up the party, yaddy. I turn up the party, yaddy. I turn up